Hey, welcome back to Final Fantasy Ever Crisis. This is Al Shalant, and we're back for the Monday midweek video with community feedback. So, we don't have any new notices tonight, but I got some predictions to go through with the remaining anniversary banners and some other stuff that's been teased. First off, let's get to announcements. Our guild Avalanche is having a member retire, so we are looking for a new member again. If you'd like to fill the space, go ahead and hit me up on Discord. You can find me, Al Shalant, from the unofficial Ever Crisis channel pretty easily. It was one of our strong hitters that is retiring, so we are looking for somebody that can pull a bit of weight. So if you think you'd be a good fit, go ahead and send me a DM on Discord. Would love to hear from you. Otherwise, over 600 YouTube subscribers, pushing towards 1,000. If you haven't pressed the button yet to subscribe, go ahead and do it. It would help out a bunch. Now, let's get into it. So, anniversary's halfway over. Had a double banner and a single banner, and we'll have 2 more single banners. How do I know that? Well, because I know how to read. Because they pretty much told us right here in the one a day that there will be a volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've had volume 1 and 2. This Thursday will be volume 3 on March 12th. Then on March 18th, volume 4. Yep, it even shows the dates down here. So 4 banners for the 2.5 year anniversary. And we know that there are 5 characters. How do we know that? Well, in the anniversary details itself, go down to where the banners are, the first 2. You plan to add a total of 5 gear over the course of the 2.5 year anniversary. So 4 banners, 5 gear. That's 2 on the first one, then 3 singles. So that is what we can expect. You can also expect the characters that we'll see will be the ones shown in the artwork here. I mean, it's a good indicator as is, but like also the fortune tellers kind of backed it up. So we got Zach and Angeal left. Thursday, I think it's going to be Zach. Why do I think that? Well, we have had Tifa's Dragonfang ult featured for 2 weeks. There are 2 ults this month. The other being Zach's Divine Emissary, which I already bought off of Pity. So it hasn't been featured yet. So if Tifa's ult is featured for 2 out of the 4 weeks, you'd think Zach's would be featured for the next 2 weeks. And it would make the most sense to start his feature on the week that his banner is, just like Tifa's. So that's how it's probably all going to fall into place. If it doesn't fall into place like that, I'd be very surprised. Zach this Thursday, March 12th, and Angeal next Wednesday, March 18th. But what are the thoughts on Zach's weapon? What could it be? Well, let's look at his ult again to see what it brings to the table. Arcanum all allies, just like all the attackers are getting. The C ability does, it's like an AC gloves, but it does 2 tiers instead of 1. Also gives an instant summon to everybody. Plus 3 ATB to everybody. 2 uses. So, a whole bunch of stuff. And then, on interrupt, 3 charges of 40% amp. That's not, that up to 3 times means 3 charges of amp. Like if you go and look at death penalty, the first time we saw amp, says up to 1 time. So that's 1 charge of amp. Here on Zach's, it says up to 3 times. So that's 3 charges of amp. That's very strong. What's missing from this though? Well, a lot of the other ults for the DPS have had, like, Vincent brings physical and magic damage bonus to the table for himself. Tifa's brings, where's that thing? Everything's blue, I can't see it. Tifa's brings weapon boost. Yep, 60% weapon boost. Yuffie's brings 60% exploit. What was Vincent's was only 40%, wasn't it? But it's a longer duration. It's like 90 seconds. Whereas the other ones, Yuffie and Tifa, are just 60 seconds. Okay. So he doesn't have a multiplier on his ult. So I'm thinking he's going to get a brand new shiny offhand for all of his elemental builds that'll have like a physical and magic weapon boost. Since Aerith just got bonus, it wouldn't make sense to give him bonus. He'll probably get weapon boost, kind of like Fusion Sword. Might have an exploit weakness on it too, self-exploit, you know? Because it will be pretty much replacing his current offhand, which is Sword of the Hunt, which is a self-exploit weapon, which is kind of out of date because we could get exploit from other sources, but if you could give it to yourself, it's useful. But we get exploit otherwise now, and a weapon boost would be a little bit more useful. Or like a Muramasa damage received plus effect, you know, or, you know, one of those. Weapon boost or a Muramasa like an Enfeeble, you know. Yeah, like a Enfeeble plus Muramasa or weapon boost would be pretty sick on an offhand for him. Because he does have a lot of elemental weapons. I mean, Sword of the Hunt itself is magic ice, even though it is AoE. I mean, 800% ain't nothing to sneeze at for AoE. Especially when it gives you exploit. It's like the god of magic wind right now. Ice wind. He's got magic fire LB. Physical fire Dragon Quest. If I could find the damn thing. Yeah. And we already said he's a new magic wind god. He also has Beatrix for physical wind, although most people don't have it. And he had Falchion for AoE physical wind from his base kit. What else does he have? Physical ice. Got a big upgrade with customizers. I mean, if you do a spade custom, gives 100% interrupt ice damage. If you do a diamond custom, is diamond right? No. Spade is the one. Oh, 1.5 damage. And a single target damage received up like a Muramasa. That's pretty awesome in itself. I didn't know it. This is probably the best customizer for a attacker that we got. Although Cloud and Vince did get AC gloves. That is very strong. I haven't even really read this in detail. 1.5 to his 620 is what? It's 930 then. With an ice down high. With damage received plus 40%. That's very, very strong for physical ice. So he's already got the Muramasa actually for physical. So yeah, I think it's going to be weapon boost. I think he's going to get weapon boost. Magic in physical. And like an enfeeble or something. Or something brand fucking new. Yeah, he covers almost all the elements. I think the only element he doesn't have, because he also has physical lightning Zinogre or the Timu Zinogre. So what is it? Fire, both damage types. Ice, both damage types. Lightning, physical. Earth he doesn't have. Wind, both. But one of them very limited. And then water. He doesn't have a water weapon. He has a water support weapon with black whiskers. Heat F down, water down. So he's only missing water. It'd be sick if they give him a water weapon. But I think it's going to be offhand. Yeah. Water would be sweet though. Yeah, Zach's really well-rounded. 5 out of 6 elements, and many of them are, he has one for each damage type. Like 4 of those, right? Fire, ice, not lightning's only physical. Or ice, wind. No earth, no water. Okay, yeah, no earth, no water. Earth's the worst damage type in the game right now, too. Look at this. Earth used to be spanking back in December when we had Near, Cloud, and then the Magic Yuffie is like a backup, and then the physical Tifa to Earth up. I think that was my team that I used. Am I even in the top 20 anymore? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I used. Now, just doing much better with lightning rod and stuff for magic because it's broken as fuck. But yeah, 764. That's the worst. You know what used to be the worst all the time was wind. With physical Zach and anime Tifa, right? Oh no, just support Tifa. A support ass Tifa with Torpor, Tear Up, and physical damage received, physical Muramasa with the wind down, and they haven't even tried her new staff yet for physical bonus. That's wild. They could probably beat this easily now and probably get a billion if you put on a wind breach, replace Floral with her new rod. Because of this bad boy. It's wild that wind is doing better than lightning, doing better than water. Yeah, Sephiroth with Muramasa and his base kit is still the god of magic water. Damn. And lightning broke 1 billion too. So it used to be that fire was the only one that broke 1 billion. I haven't tried these since it was a 9999 cap. See? Now you can break the cap. Now on lightning, you could break the cap too. Ice is still around 900. Well, let's say 900. The new magic lightning Ceph breaks the billion cap. Earth is way down at 760. Water's the second worst now. And then wind ain't doing that bad. But all we need to do to get wind back in the gutter like usual is get a new earth weapon and a new water weapon, which we haven't seen one in a while for either, so it's bound to happen soon, you know? Haven't seen ice since the 2-year either. There's some strong ice weapons in this game too. There's a ton of them. Yeah, it's a little side tangent to take a look at the current status of the elements of the game now that we're getting some of these anniversary weapons. Where were we? We were talking about Zach's banner Thursday, and maybe if it were to be an element, which would it be? Well, earth and water are the ones that he don't have, and they're the worst elements in the game. Is that a coincidence? Huh. But what about his costume? I mean, all the costumes so far, even Aerith, the healing costume, has boosted ability potency all allies, which is fucking sweet because it's for everything, all damage, magic and physical, 15%. That's great. Like a true all-rounder costume. What I hope for Zach is I hope Zach gets in all elements with that boosted ability potency all allies. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're playing Zach and you have an elemental costume on his main, if you go to his subs, he has one all elements costume, which is featured. And that's a good choice for your costume voucher, by the way, is Zach's all element costume. It'll help all around. Then he doesn't really have a good second choice for a costume. Like the best choice we have is this, even on magic builds, is this Surfer, because of the boost attack all allies helps a bit, you know, it's 5% extra damage for everybody. But it gives the P attack up tier and the 10% physical ability damage command stance. So that second R ability is kind of useless for a magic build. So since his choices for subs are so poor, that boost attack all allies is just the best thing he has otherwise. So in other all elements would help out his sub costumes overall. And it would be cool to see, what would the C ability be on it then? I have no idea. Yeah, it's really a mystery to me. If he gets a dope-ass support weapon, then what is the C ability going to be? That's interesting. I can't wait to see. Because it's going to be some kind of utility, because it can't be just like damage nuke, you know, if it's offhand. Huh. I like it. I'm getting excited for Zach more than I think about it. Then for week 4, we got Angeal's left. What can he get? He's already the guy with the only defensive limit break weapon. Where's he at? Great Sword of the Worthy. I love and hate this thing so much. A boost attack all allies with P-Def. We always put this on our support characters to take less damage. This is like one of the best sub-weapons in the game. However, using it sucks because it has P-Def up, M-Def up, and a Veil, but it doesn't have Provoke. What the fuck? It's like they forgot to put the Provoke on it. So then you're forced into putting Provoke in your offhand, or your main hand if you offhand this. And then his Provoke weapons are, if you don't have his other water LB, and if it's not a water fight, that doesn't help. Then you got like his basic bitch, or is it two-hander? Or longsword? Has a Provoke on it. P-Def, physical ability potency, big whoop. What else has provoke on it? Mithril Slasher for water down AoE. The inflatable Buster Sword. This is probably his best provoke weapon. Has HP and buff debuff extension. Applies a water weakness and gives P-Def up high to everybody. This is probably his best provoke weapon, but it like forces you to put a provoke weapon in the offhand if you're equipping this Great Sword of the Worthy, which was the thing that just rubbed me the wrong way about it from the beginning. Otherwise, P-Def, M-Def up for everybody at the same time, both defenses, that's pretty tight. Can't complain with that. What's he going to get this time, though? I mean, is he going to get an elemental resist like Barrett's Sunrise or Matt's Desperado? But we still haven't even used those, really. Or will his costume get elemental resist, kind of like Barrett's and Glenn have? I mean, Barrett has his Rebirth costume that gives 20% all element resist. Then Glenn has the... Where's Glenn in this build? Glenn has the free costume we got that has a 10% for everybody. So I think it's Angeal's turn to get this resistance. 20% resistance, I'd say, for LB. But what else could it do? And what could the costume do? I'm gonna be surprised, I think, no matter what it is. I just hope I'm not surprised in a bad way. One thing we don't see often, and there's only one example I could think of, and it's on Zac. So having something like this on a tank would be pretty sweet. See Zac. Twinkling Star. Where's that bad boy? Is this what I remembered? Yeah. It's attack down, defense down. I mean, they're opposite types. Magic attack down, P-Def down. Having an attack down and a defense down on the same weapon would be kind of sweet. I mean, some weapons do, like Electro, Angeal even has one that does both attack types down. Like Poleaxe by Sid, they do both attacks down. I mean, you usually don't need both defenses down at the same time, but if you had a defense and an attack down on the same weapon, that'd be pretty unique. Almost unique, since Twinkling Star does it. Can't think of off the top of my head anything else. Otherwise, I just hope it has Provoke. Because if you're equipping a Limit Break weapon, you want it to have Provoke so that he doesn't have to equip his secondary weapon as a Provoke. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the biggest complaint I had about his last one. Plus what? This will be his third Limit Break weapon. Right? So he had Tranquility, which was like before tanks were in the game. They tried to make him kind of a DPS with Provoke. You got Great Sword of the Worthy. Yeah, those are his limit breaks. So, this is only going to be Zac's second limit break. What's the other characters in the game? Red's only got one. Barrett doesn't have any limit break weapons yet, and that's a fucking shame. Kate Sis got one. Yuffie's got like 4 or 5. I think Tifa's got 5 now. And yeah, this will be Zac's second. Lucia, Matt, Red have 1. Sid has 1. Glenn has 1. So I don't think Angeal's going to see another limit break for a long time, since like Sid and Red are like main cast and they only have 1 each. So I'm going to try to nope out after the first page and just use all these weapon parts, because what the hell else am I ever going to use it on if he doesn't ever get another limit break? They're not going to give him a 4th limit break before Sid and Red get a second one, or Lucia gets a second one, since she's like the most popular first soldier character because she's a girl, you know. Kate Sith only has one. Yeah, it's weird that he's getting the third one before some people get their second. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 characters, almost half of them don't even have a second one. 7, that's just under half of the characters, and Barrett has 0. Yeah, what could he do as a tank? Considering the weapon, the costume, and the C ability on the costume. Going back to his ult, he gives himself a big ass shield, like 50% shield veil, and then magic resistance 25% for everybody. P-def and HP gain. What about the other tanks? Do they have anything that he doesn't have yet? Regen, resistance for himself, and a provoke. Missing score was resistance all allies. Pretty basic. Considering he's got the big ass veil on his ult, he needs a provoke on his new limit break. Yeah, for sure. Some defense and attack down. And enfeeble. Glenn's the only tank with an enfeeble, and you would have had to pull on his Final Fantasy 13 to get it. Glenn. Enfeeble. M attack down, M def up. So that's like attack down, defense up. Yeah, seeing an attack down, defense down would be sweet. With a M def, boost attack all allies, and then M def. So like it'll be like the magic version of Great Sword of the Worthy for subs. What did the Glenn costume just do? Glenn's costume had a provoke on it. Right? And an M def down. Provoke and an M def down. So like just any kind of utility all around, just to give more options. Angeal's already pretty fucking versatile. But between the weapon and the costume C ability, like to see a provoke, some attack and defense downs. I mean, he already got the P def up, M def up covered with Great Sword of the Worthy, so you don't even need to touch defenses. Maybe the elemental resistances, like I said. I think we've only had like 3 elements across the 2 weapons. Barrett and Matt. So his sunrise is like fire and lightning, isn't it? Fire and lightning resist. And his Desperado was lightning and wind resist. Interesting. We'll see. It's yeah, they got a lot of opportunity for Angeal. He is pretty much already one of the most well-rounded tanks, especially with his customizers, because they just gave him an M attack up all allies on his green sword, which does provoke and M def up to himself, whereas Stalwart does P def up to everybody and P attack up. So he could buff attacks, both types, full party. So he doesn't need that. Wonder if they'll come out with a new tanking mechanic or something. For elemental debuffs, he's got a earth down, earth up. He's got water down. Earth down, water down. Is that it? We talked about this recently. I'm sorry. Earth down, water down, fire down. So that's half of them. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, looking forward to Zach and Jill. Just did some talking out loud about what they already have, what they're missing, what would be cool to see with each of them. All right, one more thing before we get into community feedback. Just do some not really predictors, but yeah, predictors, but look at the events coming up. I mean, we didn't get the story event last Friday, so we'll get the part 2 of this story on Thursday, almost 100%, which is going to be awesome. I'll do another playthrough of it and do a video for it. It did pretty well on YouTube, I think. And then the Crash is getting a harder version, the Supreme Weapon Majeur. So that'll be Thursday too, March 12th. Then we'll also get the new Escalation boss. Don't know if it'll be 1 or 2 of them. We got 2 of them on Friday. There's going to be 7 overall. That's Thursday, March 12th too. And then next week we'll be back to Wednesday updates, March 18th, probably going forward. Who else could they have for the Escalation bosses? I mean, Blade Spear and Iron Giant are kind of random. It could be anybody. But there was one boss they said that was upcoming in the Fortune Teller that caught me by surprise, which was a new version of Sephiroth. Having Sephiroth as the final boss in the Escalation Extreme would be pretty dope, in my opinion. That's like total tinfoil, though. Nothing to back that up except for just they said a new Sephiroth was coming. Some story and upcoming event rumors, too, from Fortune Teller. There's been whispers about a second anime high school event. And whispers about Before Crisis, both very soon. Like April and May. If that's true, then we won't see Dirge of Cerberus Part 2 until at least June, July. Since there's only one event per month. So if we're getting that second anime high school event, they'll probably have the same every other stamp on the card as a weapon. OB10 by the end of page 2. But remember, last time we saw those, only one of those 3 weapons were used more than that month. The Wind, Tifa, and Barret were largely unused after that month's escalation and dungeon rank. I think it was only Aerith's bamboo staff for water that was like used again at all. So just be careful with those. I mean, the stamps are enticing, but they do it for a reason. They'll probably plan not to use those weapons too often since they're giving them away more easily, you know. Interested to see if they'll let you wish list the first year anime high school weapons. Before Crisis. I mean, it's got it. I'm going to pull up the Fortune Teller again because it didn't actually say Before Crisis. It had the abbreviation. BC. What else can be BC except for Before Crisis? It's got to be, right? But yeah, that's about it for predictors, tinfoil, and the like. Right here, I'm going to insert a clip and a in-depth discussion about this week's solo rank. For listening this far into this week's midweek, this is like a secret surprise. I'm not making it a separate guide video. I'm just placing it in the middle here to help out anybody that's going to watch this whole thing and actually get to it. So you're welcome. Hope it helps. After that, we're going to get to community feedback. All right, here we go. Flip to defense before 5 ATB, then spam. That way it gets off before the cutscene. All right, we're going to go to Lucia and do fire weapon bonus and then fire breach. 2 attacks on Tifa. 2 attacks on Aerith. Ult on her. The other attack on Aerith into her ult. Then 2 attacks on Tifa. End on Lucia. It's going to be fire up twice on Lucia, then ult in the AC gloves. Then we can start doing sigils. We want to keep on attacking with Tifa so she gets her summon ready. Alright, fire up twice. Ult. AC gloves. Bonus. Fire weapon boost. Now torpor into break. Now smash. No overspeed yet. Smash. Do the ATB or bonus into ATB conserve, so it gets up after the sigil. Lucia ult. Bonuses. Keep on smashing. Ult. Ult. Next one's going to be a torpor. Should get 2 more attacks off, but we want to make sure we still reapply the bonus. There we go. We got him. Nice and easy. I'll explain a little bit about what to look out for here when I show the build. So that's at level 300. We're just aiming to kill him before that next cutscene cast bar, which will probably kill Tifa anyways. Then he puts up like physical resistance, magic resistance, and goes into another sigil phase. So big trouble if you don't kill him before then. If having trouble, lower P-Def and M-Def rather than lowering HP. You know why? Because if you lower his M-Def and P-Def, you'll do more damage. Because the defense makes you do less damage. So if you're having trouble and you lower it, you'll do more damage. So you'll get a higher max 1 hit on him. Although, if you can do it at 300, the extra 25% or the extra 50% gets a higher score. But that's why you want to lower the defense instead of HP, because your max one hit will be higher because he has less defenses. If that makes sense. Let's look at the build. We got our fancy new Tifa. Got a good brand on it like this. Because we are doing the level 300, I do have just the increased potency customizer on it. If you're doing like a 50% run where you're trying to kill him during the first interrupt or shortly after, those 3 hits during the interrupt will be most of the damage at a lower defense. So if you can't kill him on 300 and you have to go to like 275 or 280 or something, mess around with this one, because most of your damage is going to come during that interrupt phase anyways, and it'll be like an extra 100%. But for level 300, heart, red customizer, 100%. The new ult gives ATB conservation during the interrupt. Also gives us weapon boost 60%, which is awesome, for 30 seconds. The first one, it pretty much falls off right after the interrupt and the torpor. But we get it back for the final burst in overspeed, and that's when the big damage comes back. But timing the ults out in this fight is very important to make sure they're ready again when we need them. So you want to use Tifa's first ult like right after the first cutscene. Coming out of the first cutscene attack, I'm usually on Lucia and I double tap fire up. Then I go straight over to Tifa, do the ult into AC gloves. That way, by the time the ult animation is done, and before she hits with AC gloves for the tear up, Lucia will have already done her fire up twice. That makes sense? So just all my best fire refines, and then I had one that's higher than a refined. In the back, got Zack's sword. If you don't have this, well, I'll show you the rest first. And then surfboard 4656 is great. Then Crystal Sword Z 3156. If you don't have the Zack DQ sword for a sub, like Radiant Edge is a 6242. So you'll actually get, well, you'll be one short of P-Attack 7 actually, but you won't quite get that Fire 7. We don't have anything else good with a 56 and P-Attack. So all right, over to Aerith. I have her new costume on for that ATB conservation. Got 4 charges of it now that I got OB10 today with my free copy from the medals, which really made that run a second ago a lot easier than it was the first time I did it. The extra 5% bonus damage over OB9, the extra 5 seconds duration, the extra 2 seconds extension, and then having 1 more use of the gear really made a difference, because that ATB conversation is making it so Tifa can attack more, so she's not using as much ATB. She's saving like 2 ATB every time Aerith uses her costume, so she can attack like 3 or 4 more times if you have all 4 charges of this costume. And that is the customizer we want on here, is the blue one. The spade for that extra utility for the costume plus. Alright, next on Aerith, we got the new customizer on striking staff. This used to just be a physical non-elemental damage that we haven't used since the solo rank during the first anniversary. Actually, it was Genova physical non-elemental, and she helped out a bit actually on it. But now we got lightning damage down, so we'll take less damage from the boss. And it gives a P attack up high. So that works too, because we don't have it otherwise for this fight. Very cool. And that is the blue customizer on it. For materia, I just got triangle with my highest P def on it, and then I have my highest M def and P def materials on her. 28 M def, that's pretty good. And 23 P def. That way, she takes less damage, so we get more score from less damage taken. Oh, I don't have this branded yet. I could go ahead and just throw a defense brand on it right now. Whatever the mix is will be fine. P def and M def, he does both to us. And the high defenses on Aerith and Lucia will get you a better score because they aren't contributing to damage. So if he does his single target attacks on them, they'll take less damage, we'll get more score. So there is a little bit of RNG there during the last half of the fight. And in the back, lightning costume, P def up all, and then extra ATB. I find this necessary to get a heal out before the first cutscene so we don't proc reprieve right away. That's just how I do it. I've seen some people procking reprieve off the first hit. I've just been doing it off the second hit instead. It's been working out for me. Then 2P attack up all allies. One of them has the buff and debuff extension, and these are also branded for defenses, all of these. And then Model 1 has the quintessential interruption all allies on its blue customizer for 30% interrupt damage. Then you got near for attack all. And some more buff and debuff extension. If you have a real hard time getting a heal off before the first attack, you may want to put an ATB boost weapon on her. If you don't have the lightning costume, it's really finicky. You got to get the feel for it to get that off just in time. Army of 1 will pretty much make sure that the P attack up never falls off. And that special costume with ATB conservation, 4 uses of it over the course of the fight. You got an extra 15% damage from the costume too. Some more magic, all allies magic defense. It's just a great costume. They really hit the mark with the staff and the costume. I was a little down on it at first, but giving both types of bonuses is good because it makes it so she can use it in every single fight. Instead of Lightning Rod only worked with magic teams. So giving both was the right move in my opinion. She was only missing physical since Lightning Rod had magic bonus, but now she could bring this for both. Or if it's a magic team and you don't need the heal and you'd rather have the command stance increase, then Lightning's Rod isn't obsolete either. It's just a win-win in all situations, in my opinion. What are the other customizers on here? It's an R ability, isn't it? So this one gives the extra charges on the utility for the costume. 1, 2, or 3, depending on OB level. This one, 3 charges of amp healing, 50% for 60 seconds when a sigil phase starts. That's what stream phase is activated means, is the beginning of a sigil phase. Awesome. So yep, that's Aerith. Take a look at those defense values. They're quite a bit higher now that I branded everything for defense. This one branded for defense too? Yeah, of course it is. I think everything is. Yeah. This one, I didn't do this one. It has 3 P def on it, but it has over 80 P attack on it. So in case I need that for a physical build. Yep, these ones are. All right, Lucia. Main handing her limit break weapon. So if you were missing this on the guild battle last time, you were really feeling it. And you'll be feeling it again if you're missing it this time for the solo rank. I think this is the single most used limit break weapon since it came out. It's been used for so many things. I mean, we had that Yuffie fight for the solo rank. I think that was the last time we had 2 bosses. We had guild battle last month. She also used this for Bahamut Sin escalation. And other stuff too that's not at the top of mind. Anyways, this attack all allies, buff the UF's extension, sigil boost 2 for triangle. That'll make her break the triangle sigils really, really quickly. You want to be careful you don't accidentally break them on accident, because there'll be 7 of them outside of overspeed. And you really don't want to break the sigil phase too quick. Anyways, you want to take your time and make sure you reapply fire weapon boost before you go for the last one. Same with her bonus. You want to make sure you reapply that before going into the interrupt. We got her ult that gives amp. Got 3 charges on this. Gives haste at the beginning. Buff, debuff, extension. 3 uses. HP gain we don't really use. It's whatever. But this, you also want to time it so it's available at the end when you need it. If you use it right when it's available after the first cutscene, after she does a fire breach and a weapon boost, then you use this right away, then the second charge will be ready right at the end of the interrupt. So the interrupt will be over, but the boss will still be in torpor. So you could get that amp hit with the torpor on the second charge of this. Then it'll be ready for the third charge. Third charge will be ready for the second torpor at the very end of the fight. That makes sense. Crimson Flare gives us that extra amp during the interrupt and at the end of the fight. Can probably get a higher max hit by stacking this amp with the last charge of her ult amp at the end. That's probably a tip that I won't try to do on VOD, but that's what I'm probably going to try to do after I'm done recording right now. Because your summons will be ready at the end, and her last ult charge will be ready too. So if you could time the torpor and the summons being ready and this coming back up for the third charge, so you can get a fire and a physical amp, because those do stack. In the back, it's just P attack all allies and boost attack all allies. Just, I'm not touching that one for that brand, but the other ones have defenses on them. This is a defensive limit break anyways. She's got the fire breach. And then the triangle sigil. Got defenses on all the materia. And I think that's about it for the build. Trying to think of any more tips for the fight. I mean, you could just talk about the rotation, I guess. Going in, we start on Aerith in the middle. I flip over to defense about halfway through the 4th ATB and start smashing the heal button so that it goes off before the cutscene. Coming out of the cutscene, I do weapon boost and fire breach on Lucia. Start attacking with Tifa, main hand. Then I do 2 offhands with Aerith to do P attack up and lightning down. After 2 of them, I do a Braxis to tear down the lightning down and the fire breach. Ending for the second cutscene on Lucia. Coming out of the stun, she does her napalm twice to give fire up. Flip straight over to Tifa, do her dragon into AC gloves. Then I start throwing sigils on Aerith. Start throwing sigils on her. Keep attacking with Tifa because you want to make sure that Ifri's going to be ready. So, and then when sigils are getting down there, you want to reapply your bonus, reapply your weapon boost, then do torpor into 1 more sigil. If the sigils are 3 or under, you can throw it with Aerith. If it's 7 or under, you'll want to throw it with Lucia. That gives you a pretty large range. So whenever you're ready to do the torpor, the bonus and weapon boost is back up. However many sigils you have between 3 and 7, or between 1 and 7 really, tells you if you need to do it on Aerith or Lucia. The timing isn't very strict there. You have time. Then after the torpor hits, Ifri should be ready, and then you do your summon combo. Coming out of that, double tap the main hand on her. Go over apply bonus 1 more time into the first costume. That way the animation delay, she'll have to do this one first. Then the animation delay will pre-cue that. Will go off after the interrupt's over. So that Tifa gets the extra ATB conservation. Because remember, she already gets some during the interrupt. And that'll take her through torpor. Then I usually just go off and on, main hand, offhand with Lucia throughout the end to make sure the fire up and the weapon boost don't fall off. Pretty soon, Abraxas will be ready to reapply. Look out for that. They'll bring fire down to 4 tiers, and will bring his lightning down because he will have rebuffed it from -1 to -3. Keep attacking until this is ready. Pre-queue it. Then queue you could queue overspeed after it. Then we're going to go into torpor. Again, reapply your bonuses, do more ATB conservation. So like pretty much what I do with Lucia and Aerith is I do like main hand, offhand on Lucia. For Aerith, I pretty much do main hand, off, or main hand, costume, main hand, costume during the end. Because that gives us 2 casts between each costume, gives us that 10 seconds for it to wear off. Because if you reapply it while it's still up, it's only a 3-second extension. So you kind of want it to fall off before you use it again. So that's what I do on her is main hand, costume, main hand, costume during the end. Keeps bonus up and keeps the ATB cost down. Then main hand, offhand on Lucia at the end. Watch out for her ult to be ready so that you don't have like an extra attack pre-queued and it'll go off late, you know, so you don't want to keep an eye on when it'll be ready. Around the time that Tifa's in overspeed, it'll be a little bit after hers. Yeah, that's pretty much all the tips I have. And yeah, if you're lucky enough, you can once this 3rd charge is ready, fire it out, do the summon combo, and then you get a double amp, big ass 1-hit for Tifa for more score, which I'm gonna try. But that's it for this segment. Hope this helps you guys. I mean, it's not an official guide video. I just wanted to give you my tips and show a quick run through of the fight. Luckily, I was able to kill it again pretty easily with the new OB10 weapon from the medals, which today, yeah, if you didn't know, we get these medals from the 1 a day, and we got 10 of them today, so you can pick a free limit break weapon. Looks like we'll get enough medals for a second one this time too. They only cost 10. When we had Final Fantasy 13 and Nier, they costed 15, and there were only like 29 days of the 1 a day, so we couldn't get enough medals to get 2 of them. But this time it looks like we'll be able to. So I'll have to hold off on Zach or Angeal to get one of theirs. All right, and that brings us to community feedback for the night. Got 4 comments to go through. This first one comes from Laker Corono, and they're talking about the new limit break weapons and how like things being locked behind OB10, which isn't nice. Example they give here is Tifa's weapon. And we were talking about on the banner review how you need OB10 for this Gear C ability use +1. Without OB10, it's not there. But they're also saying, let's say you have the Diamond Customizer for the Ultimate Fire Interruption R ability. At OB1, you only get 30% instead of 100. At OB6, you only get 60% instead of 100. And as a sub-weapon, that's halved, so you get the tier beneath it. So that's really cucking the damage in a whole different way, since when we come to like guild battles and stuff, that interrupt is where most of the damage comes from. Interested to see if there's something similar on... Well, Aerith's is just the heal, right? Stream phase amp healing. So yeah, it would be just a single use or stack 2 times or 3 times. That's not as bad as like the difference between 60 and 100% fire damage during interrupt. Then Sephiroth doesn't have a R ability. correct? If I'm remembering. His just has the extra potency and then the C ability uses on the spade for the, yep. Okay. So yeah, that's something I'll keep in mind when we see Zach and Angeals over the next 2 weeks. If their additional R ability from customizers have a significant impact from OB6 to OB10, because that's pretty not cool. I didn't read his whole comment, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Next, we got RZXWM10 regarding command stance, fizz, and magical ability potency. I always wondered how they affect limit break and summon damage. Now that I think about it, I think the stance do affect damage and healing from limits. Perhaps the physical, magical ability, potency, R abilities does too for summons. No. If you want to take a look at summons, it says physical / magic ice damage. And how they determine this is it's like an average of your P attack and M attack. So like what we used to do back before there were a million buffs in the game, like let's say we were equipping sub weapons on our support character for boosted P attack all allies. We would also put because now we have boost attack all allies to fill in that extra slot. We do something like that. But what we used to do was just take an M attack all allies, and it would raise our M attack, even though this is a bad example because it's a magic build. Think about the other way around. We would add this P attack all allies to the two magic ones to raise the P attack a little bit more. Let's start out with like an HP weapon. So say we got 10k M attack, 4.7 P attack. We would then add the P attack all allies in to increase that P attack by like 1,000, because those two numbers are averaged for the root of the summon damage. It's physical and magic fire damage. It's an average of both of those stats. So the physical ability potency, magic ability potency, it does not depend on summon or limit break damage. That is just for your when command stance is maxed, it's an extra multiplier to your C abilities. And it doesn't affect your command stance either, since it is a separate, it's not stat related. It's on the side of the stats. It's a multiplier. It doesn't affect combat power. Similarly, limit breaks, fizz over magic damage, you see? So it's an average. Or it's not divided, but you know, it's like fizz plus P attack plus M attack over 2. It's an average. Times 3,000%. Yep. Hope that clears that up. There was an older video, I think one of the old content creators, Nightlight9, I think he made a video testing what our abilities have effects on summons and limit breaks. Because there are like Oh, what am I even doing? Our abilities. Because there is like the R ability for limit break potency. So they tested to see if that also applied to summons, and it doesn't. And they also tested the ability potencies as well. And the just the factor for limit breaks and summons is your stats. Plus the element, if the summon's elemental, you know, so. So the way I think about it is if it says ability and it mentions command stance, then that isn't adding to your summon damage, unfortunately. Next one we got is from Vaughn Wolf. Says, I see a lot of customizations focus around stream phase. Can you explain what this is? I am confused. It seems to be tied to a lot of our abilities on past weapons. Of course. I think we've already touched on this a couple times tonight, but like, let's say we got our quintessential interruption, all allies, on these Mystic Sword, which says, well, this one's the easy one. It says enemy interrupted, all allies physical ability damage. But where are the tank ones? I think this is what you're talking about. The tank and the healer ones that say boost own physical resistance by 30% when stream phase is activated. That basically means when the sigil phase starts. Similarly, the heal ones is an amp healing when stream phase starts. Let's look for reds is easy to spot. Yep. Amplify healing ability 50% up to 3 times when stream phase is activated. So that's the beginning of the sigil phase. We also see stuff like this on ultimates. It'll either say on stream phase start or on interrupt. Like, I think death penalty, stream phase ATB boost, plus 3 ATB when the stream phase starts. Similar on Venus Gospel, I think, has the same one. Haste when sigil starts. So that's what it means when the sigil phase starts. If it says upon interrupt, like Sephiroth says, amp on interrupt, that's when the sigil phase is over, when you actually interrupt the enemy during the bullet time. So that's the difference between both of those. Next one we got is from Know What I Meme. Know What I Meme. That's a funny name. Who's in the next banner? We already talked about that, but where can we get more memories for new enemy skill other than escalation? Then they had somebody respond, said after event ends, they'll probably add enemy skill vouchers to the exchange shop like they did with the other two. Well, you can already get the vouchers from escalation medals, but the exchange shop co-op is where they added to buy these with co-op medals. Where do you use those vouchers, though? I know what he's talking about. That's right. You could buy these enemy skill ability vouchers. These are supposed to be for people that missed them or couldn't get them leveled up because they weren't strong enough to beat the escalation. Then where do you spend these? Exchange. Oh, here, enemy. Yeah. So they'll probably add the crystals here at a later date, but not until the event's over. And then for now, yeah, the way to get those would be, it was on the ultimate weapon one up to level 10. I don't think there's any past level 10. So you only have to do level 10 to get them. No, level 15. Oh, it looks like up to level 20, which could be quite rough if the account's new or if you haven't been playing for very long. Up to 25. That is quite difficult, actually. That's more than I expected. I think that's a little rough, to be honest. Level 25 isn't easy. Then the rest of them are in. I think they have some in the shop here, didn't they? Yeah, they had 50 in the event shop. But that's all. Do they ever give extras of that? Because I usually buy out those shops without looking. No. Yeah, so there's 50 in the event shop. Then the rest are in the escalation up to level 25. Sorry to say. But they will add, you'll want to save up your as far as you can get on escalation. You'll want to save up those medals to get the vouchers, and then they'll add it to the co-op shop or the exchange next month. So you could get it from the co-op shop next month. Apologies there. Yes, that is rough. That's asking a lot. Escalation 25 isn't easy. Man, I'm kind of bummed that that's the last comment and we're ending on a bummer now. But what can you do? So yeah, we're going to see new fights in here. Yeah, they didn't have any. It was all on the first fight, right? Yeah. So they had less rewards for the rest of them. Huh. It did seem like they're giving more nobles now for OS. So that's good. If you're here for the event. If you miss this event and then they start just drip feeding them again, then big whoop. But they also added like twice as many in the mission exchange or the event story exchange. Like here, usually they don't even have nobles in here, and they only have, sometimes they only have one type of the regular ones. Wonder if they'll add more on Thursday. We'll see. But that's about it for tonight. We talked about quite a bit. We did took a look at predictions for Zach and Angeal. Talked about some rumors for upcoming events in the next couple months. Talked about what's coming on Thursday with the Supreme difficulty Ultimate Weapon, the new escalation fights, and then the new story. Quite a lot coming up. Then back to Wednesdays after this Thursday. We'll be back to Wednesday updates, it looks like. Then we took a look at the solo rank really quick. I think I'm still hanging out at number 3. Yep. Oh, somebody's catching up on me. Not bad, not bad. I'm going to give this another go later on. And then we did the community feedback. Had about 4 comments. If you do have any comments for discussion topics for next week, go ahead and leave them on this video or any of the other videos I publish throughout the week. Otherwise, press that subscribe button if you'd care to. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, be safe, stay warm, keep doing what you're doing. And I'm Al Chalant. See ya.